We have Alec Rubin of Alec of Alec Bradley Cigars. We have Ryan, salesman extraordinaire of Alec Bradley Cigars. And of course, there's Josh Mills and myself here. Stay tuned for a real good show. And don't forget to go out there and burn one with an Alec Bradley cigar.
Thanks for joining us inside the Humidor. I'm Josh Mills alongside Ed Brandyberry, the Alec of Alec Bradley Cigars, Alec Rubin, and Ryan Ponas, who's been on the show at least 4 times before, I think.
Enough.
Several times.
I'm tired of them.
We're going to do a little bit about Alec Bradley once again. We've done like the brand profile and stuff in the past, but you guys are just hot off the trade show, so why don't you tell us what's new at Alec Bradley, what's going on over there?
Ryan, you want to take the lead on this one?
Of course. See, I'm already getting graded professionally as we go. So with Alec Bradley this year, it's our 21st year of operation. We're very excited to finally get products onto the market in a full-scale release that we weren't able to last year. Last year was our 20th anniversary. With the FDA stuff going on, boo, we really didn't get a chance to do anything. But this year we were able to get back to basics and work on getting products onto the market for everybody to enjoy everywhere, not just in limited releases. One of which was the Fire Starter, which is a new economy line, double torch lighter that we came out with. It's going to be going all across the country. Really nice rubber anodized case that's going to be very durable and very affordable. On the other half, we have the PAL lighter, which stands for Punch and Light. It's going to have a nice punch right on the top, built in. Double torch lighter as well. That'll be rolling out across the country. You'll see it at a lot of events. Please, Ed, go ahead. Everybody else took them at the trade show. You might as well take mine now. We have the Black Market Esteli, which is going to be a release of the Black Market line. The idea with our releases on cigars, before I get too far into those, we wanted to stay basically with the namesakes that we're using. We wanted to focus on why is it that a black market is a black market? Why is a Prensado a Prensado? It's a very special namesake to a lot of our consumers, so we didn't want to just take those names and use them on products just erroneously. So the big thing is when you think of a black market, you think of really great aroma, you think of great flavor, you think of slow burn time, very dense cigar. So that's what we wanted to keep with. So the Black Market Esteli is going to be all Nicaraguan tobacco with a touch of Honduran in there. Very different profile, but it's going to be pretty much in that same wheelhouse as far as strength and offer just a different flavor profile for people that may not have hit on the black market.
It's going to have that nice earthy tone with a nice pepper on the back end. I'd say a nice white pepper. And then on the Prensado?
The Prensado Lost Art. The idea of Lost Art came from when we started thinking about Prensado, what makes a Prensado a Prensado. We focused on the way Cuban cigars were made at one time. We have that nice Cuban semi-box press, as well as a nice triple cap on it. This is going to be a really interesting flavor profile change from the original Prensado on the market. This one's going to offer a nice oaky note to it with a little bit of sweetness and creaminess. It's personally become my favorite out of some of our newer product that we put out there.
Yeah, I got to say, at the trade show over there, the Black Market Esteli was one of the 3 or 4 cigars I smoked that I definitely was like disheartened when it ended. Like, I wanted to keep going. It actually stuck out.
That's good. That's good.
Most people that go to the trade show, if you guys haven't been to the trade show, you smoke like 14 cigars a day. It's completely unreasonable. Your palate's shot by the time you get halfway through the day. So most of the stuff you smoke is like, it doesn't really accomplish much. But the Esteli definitely stuck out for me. So
one thing we always say is that you have a good cigar when you're smoking, and you just don't realize that you get all the way down to the end of it, and then kind of upset that it's gone.
Yeah, exactly. So there's actually a cigar shop, one of my favorite shops out in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Smokes on Burdick. The owner and his son, when they pick new cigars, one of the most interesting things that I've seen guys pick out cigars to put in their humidor is they take the band and everything off it, they let it sit for a little bit, and they light the cigar up and they start to smoke it. And they actually, when they're done smoking the cigar, they look down into the ashtray to see how much of the cigar they left. And that's normally a good indication of what they want to bring into the store.
That's cool.
It's very unique. I like it, though.
It is.
I'm glad you got into the new accessories you guys brought because I don't know if a lot of you guys have probably seen a lot of the Alec Bradley swag and stuff. I mean, like this one right here, you see in a lot of cigar shops. A lot of people don't realize that it's Alec Bradley though. It's the Alec Bradley burner. It's like a little Bunsen burner thing here. Pretty cool. You guys kind of have a different approach with the swag and cutters and lighters and stuff. You know, pretty much everybody has one of those X1s with the logo and stuff on it.
Right.
Yep.
You know, regardless of how cool they are, it's been done before. But you guys do it to kind of a different level. And even like the shotgun ashtray, that's pretty unique stuff.
Yeah, that's nice.
I guess what was it about how'd you guys get into that? Do you guys have...
Our philosophy has always been we're not an accessory company, we're a cigar company. So cigars come first, accessories have always been secondary, and we just kind of play to what we like. That's how we normally go about it.
I like it. So later today in the shop here, we're going to be doing a coil breakdown here. Do you want to give us a quick down and dirty kind of rundown of that? The coil we have featured right here.
So
I really like it. It's my favorite. It's my favorite in your guys' humidor right now.
I just like that you have the Petit Lancero out there.
Oh, that's my favorite size.
Mine too. It's a great one.
Yeah, if you're a small ring gauge guy, if you like a medium body cigar, you can smoke any time of day. Coil is definitely
yeah, I mean
some of the best for me.
the Petit Lancero. I mean, it's for me that's an awesome cigar that we make at the company. For me, it holds a lot of interesting sentimental value to me. When I potentially was going to work with the company, I went and did a lot of homework on them during the process that I was actually applying and interviewing for them, and I admittedly wasn't paying some attention to some of the newer product that came out. And that was actually a cigar that when I was going out to shops and I was talking to people, what's your perceptions of Alec Bradley? What's your perception of the product? That cigar, that specific Vitola, was a cigar that people were handing me saying, you gotta smoke this. This is a fantastic cigar. It's a great price point. I think this is one of the best cigars out there. So for me, that was actually sort of the cigar that I was like, oh yeah, like I could definitely work with these.
It actually has a bit of a sentimental value for me as well, or just because it's right when I got into the company. That was one of the cigars we were working on, one of the blends we were working on, and I helped pick that blend. So it definitely has a little bit something extra for me.
That's cool.
When I smoke it,
It is. Very nice.
I love
It's
it.
definitely Alec Bradley's. Definitely. Do you guys consider yourselves a boutique cigar company?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very popular question. I mean, Alec Bradley is, I think when I sat down with Alan Rubin recently and we were talking, he doesn't see it as a big company that does little business. He thinks of a little company that does big business.
Okay.
We're at a very interesting thing where we're not a huge company, but we're not a small guy either. And a lot of it just has to do with the fact that, when we hit it lucky with a couple blends in a certain timing, it really took a small company and put it in a major spotlight, out there in the industry. So it put the company in a unique
the
place.
number one.
Yeah, that was a big jump.
And a couple of years before that, I mean, Tempest Natural took
Right.
number 2 cigar of the year and got a 94 rating as well. So, I mean, those two cigars in just a very short timeline really took this company from
Definitely jumped a couple spots.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's
Yeah,
like a
absolutely.
hierarchy. I guess you have your general and Altadas, and you
Absolutely.
get into your Drew Estates, Rocky Vatels, and you guys aren't too much
No,
as far as
no, not
size
at all.
and perception, I guess.
Yeah, but the way we always look at it is if you came to our office, you wouldn't consider us to be some huge company. The way that we operate and the way that we still focus on our blends and, our entire process essentially, you would call us boutique. But then you might see us in a bunch of stores or how many different facings we have, and people think we're bigger than we actually are.
Gotcha.
So that's why we can still consider ourselves boutique.
Well, circling back to the coil, what I was going to say, though, if you're a boutique cigar head, if you're into, the real kind of geeky cigars out there, your Roma Crafts, if you're out there smoking Warped, especially in those, Lanceros and stuff like that, and you haven't tried this coil yet, you're doing yourself a disservice.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that maybe, I think some people perceive Alec Bradley as being, a bigger company, and that's why some of, the geeky cigar guys kind of walk right
It's the
past
profile
It's-
has been
But they
raised.
Well, right now I'm smoking this post-embargo Lancero,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
and we originally only did 500 boxes of this limited release, and they came and they went, and we looked around and we were kind of upset because we didn't have any post-embargo Lanceros to smoke anymore. So it took a little bit of convincing back and forth, but we decided to do another 500 boxes that just came in, and mainly because we wanted to smoke them, and everyone else seemed to enjoy them also.
So is that going to be an annual release then, or are you guys just kind of whenever
Playing
you
by
feel
ear.
like it? Yeah.
Well, and as everyone out here needs to be reminded, you don't just grab things and make a cigar.
No.
You have tobacco. You have to have tobacco
Right.
inventories in order to maintain the blend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And obviously, since post embargo is a regular release, it's readily available in the marketplace. We were able to make the Lancero, not quickly, but we were able to get those made, and there was a turnaround time, but we were able to get them back in.
Very nice cigar.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying mine. The Petit Lancero, by the way, also ended up in one of the top 25 lists.
Correct.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
I don't remember if it was aficionado or journal.
It was
or,
aficionado, got a 93 rating, came in 16 on the list.
somewhere around there. Yeah.
I'm going to say 16 through 18, somewhere
Yeah.
in there. I'm
Yeah.
a little foggy on it at the moment.
Right.
But yeah.
Right.
But it was on the top 25 list, which, I mean, for us as a company, it's really cool to see something like that, because I think when you're talking about, we talked about the cigar geeks of sort, I think something like that gives a little bit of street cred to Alec Bradley, because a lot of your cigar geeks, they love the Coronas, they love Lanceros, Petit Lanceros.
Right.
So I think seeing something like that get on that list, I think should hopefully turn some heads and make people
Plus,
look
you
at
have
these
something for
products.
the traditional, someone who likes a traditional
Size.
size
Yes.
Absolutely.
cigar, a Toro, a Robusto.
Absolutely.
So actually, Bradley just came into the business, I want to say 2.5 months ago.
Okay.
Just somewhere just around there. And him and I are, both huge fans of smaller ring gauges, Coronas, Lanceros, Petit Lanceros, Lonsdale. So we'll hopefully be seeing some more of those
Okay.
as, him and I kind of dig in a little bit.
As Alec Bradley becomes a little bit more Alec Bradley.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Alec Bradley takeover.
That's right.
We might talk a little bit about that. The name of the company. Okay, the founder of the company,
Founder of
his
the company
name was not Alec or Bradley.
Yeah.
No. And it wasn't Alex Baldwin either.
Yeah, right.
Sold Alex Baldwin cigar.
Yeah, Alan Rubin, my father.
Yes.
And my brother's name is Bradley. He named it after the two of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Now you appreciate that?
I've
Or
always
do you have the
appreciated it.
idea?
I've always thought it was, very cool to have our name on the company, but
Yeah.
definitely have more of appreciation for it as I, get older. And now that I'm in the business, I definitely have, more of a appreciation.
There's a
for
little
it.
more personal
Yes,
vesting in it.
Exactly.
So you said
Or
Bradley's
a
just
lot
now
more.
starting to get more involved?
Bradley just graduated from college
Okay.
and jumped straight in head first, so he's ready to go.
Gotcha. And
great.
you've been working with them for
3 years full time, and I've been in the warehouse.
Involved, yeah.
I've been in the warehouse since I was 12, so I've done all of it.
You said
In
you got to help
Honduras,
do
not
the
anywhere
blend
that has
of,
OSHA
of the
rules.
coil?
What was that?
I said in Honduras, not anywhere it has OSHA rules. Yeah.
No, I didn't start smoking actually till I was 18.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm telling you the truth.
No, I
Yeah.
believe you.
So, I'm sorry, what were you saying before?
You mentioned that you got to select something with the coil. You actually
So what happened was around the time that I came in, we had several blends left that we were going through. Most of the blending had already been done, and I think we had 12 blends that we were going through to try to figure out which one coil was going to be. And what we do is we all take the cigars, number them, and take our own notes on it. And that was my number one. And I think Ralph, I don't know if you guys know who Ralph is, but it was his number one also, and we kind of fought for that cigar to come out, and that was Coil.
Yeah, Coil's a fantastic blend. The other blend, if I recall, that you worked on was Sanctum as well.
That was the other one right around that same time. It was Coil, then Sanctum that came out, and Sanctum was one that had more of a hand in than Coil. And if you notice, they're kind of different from our normal company profile. Both of them are extremely.
Yeah.
And that's something that was exciting to me, to kind of choose something different from our company profile.
Yeah, I mean, this double Gordo,
Yes.
this double
Yeah.
Gordo has amazingly become popular among we partners. Josh Eagle and myself.
It holds a very special presence in the shop during Penguins playoffs.
The official
Yes.
Penguins playoffs.
Yeah, it's the official Penguins
Unofficial.
playoffs. Unofficial.
Why is that?
So, because first off, it has Penguins colors on it.
I know.
And
I do
second
know
off,
that, yeah.
you can light it up when the puck drops, and you'll still be smoking it in the shootout. So it pretty much holds a very special value to a lot of people here in the shop.
Love that.
Yeah,
Love that.
and I use it as I'm permitted by my wife for 42 years to smoke in the car.
Oh, there you
And
go.
so when I'm taking a trip across the state, I can light that one cigar, and
you're
it's
good to
still
go.
going when I hit
The only-
Harrisburg.
The only problem is if you go to look out your window real quick, you're going to knock that thing
Yeah,
out into the window.
well, I've done that.
I have too.
That's an interesting one in that you came up with two 50 gauge cigars, your
Yes.
Robusto and Toro, and that's a very traditional gauge for those cigars. And then you also hit with the
260
the
gauge.
big gauge with the 60s on your Gordo and your double Gordo, and I thought that was a great approach.
I'm actually fighting to come out with the smaller size in the Sanctum also because I had some come in from the factory and they smoke
I'd
phenomenal
love
on
to
the
see what
smaller
this
size.
smokes like in the Corona. Oh man, that's
Hey,
tasty.
you and everyone.
It's actually a Petit Corona.
Okay.
I actually brought it in a Petit Corona and
sounds fun.
it is phenomenal.
You know, and we northern shops, even those of us like myself that aren't as enamored with small gauge, there's a real good place in retail for the smaller cigar, like the Punk and,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
and that, because here up north, unless you're sitting here in the shop, if
Yeah.
you're going to smoke a
guys will-
cigar
yeah.
outside at night
know, and-
before you go to bed at night,
I agree.
you don't
want
want
a
to stand
20,
out
30
there.
minute cigar.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah.
That size is perfect. The Punk or the Nano.
Right,
Or,
and you're getting a good cigar. You
Yeah.
don't have to go out there with a Black and Mild.
And
or
not
something
just
like
that, segueing into a little bit about trends that we see in smoking and stuff like that in northern shops, and it even goes, to the fight that we do with PACRA, the state organization, the Pennsylvania Premium Cigar Retailer Association. When they talk about tobacco being an addictive thing, or having addictive properties, like other drugs, it's one of the things I always mention about. When it's winter, guys will get smaller cigars because they can go out there. Hopefully, the cigar doesn't blow up from the heat and the cold. They can have a cigar maybe in their garage or something somewhere
Right.
semi-comfortable and smoke it. And it's that thing where you don't see cigar smokers standing outside in 10-degree temperatures smoking cigars.
No.
No, they're not
having to
chain
leave the
smoking
bar or
them. Right,
anything
right,
like that.
right,
But
right.
you always see a cigarette smoker doing that. But cigar guys in the winter up north, they'll get that small cigar like a Black Market Punk or something like that, and they'll smoke it in their garage or something like that, and then they'll head back in.
Of course, what it also affects us and why we usually have such stinky January and February is you're always welcome in here in January and February. It is that thing. A lot of people just give up smoking cigars
Absolutely.
in the winter.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
because they can,
Yeah.
because it's not addictive. So
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
Well,
those,
it's tied so much, I think, to habits and what you're doing. A lot of
Yes.
people, a lot of cigars are smoked on the golf course.
Yeah.
We know this.
Right, we know that.
barbecue and that camping, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So you're just not doing cigar activities, I guess, during the winter
Right,
time.
right.
so for me, I live in Florida, so I'm very fortunate to be able to smoke year round.
Year round, yeah.
The only time I can't really smoke is if it's too outside, at least if it's too hot in the summer.
Oh yeah, right,
Yeah.
right.
Only
I
time I
found
can't
that
smoke
out
outside.
sitting in
Let me
Lakeland
play you a
when my
song.
mother lived in Lakeland, Florida.
There you go.
And it was like 95 degrees and 95% humidity.
Yeah,
and
usually
I went
100% humidity.
Yeah, and I went out and I was like, oh, my God. And I had taken out a Gordo with me, and I said, this is going to be
Yeah, that's
this
it.
is going to be a 2-session cigar.
Yes. Yeah, you guys like the little punks in the winter, and we like them in the summer.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how it goes.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. I mean, you're actually, your dad can say, I don't have cigar roots. You have cigar roots.
Well, the funny thing
And,
is,
and so
Second generation.
Second
cigar-
generation.
guy.
Second
So
generation
tell us
gringo.
about this second generation
well,
guy.
the funny thing is, what a lot of people don't know is, even though my family doesn't come from cigar manufacturing, my great grandfather had a wholesale candy and tobacco shop in New York.
Okay.
So my family's been in the tobacco business for generations. It's just that in terms of manufacturing cigars and so on and so forth, my father was the first generation and I'm the second. And the cool thing about that is my father never pressured me into getting into the business.
Yeah.
He never pressured me into smoking cigars, never pressured me to get into the business, my brother either. It was always just an option if we wanted it. And, you know, it became a hobby for both of us and then a passion for both of us. And
Yeah.
we both wanted to come in.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been around the business, like I said, since I was 12. So
Right. It's a family business.
It's a family business. It truly is. And
Yeah.
even though not every single person in the office is our family, we're all treated that way. I mean, you can ask Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone's treated like family, and
Say
that's.
no right now.
I'm not going to say no right now. But if you ask me off camera, the answer would be yes. Yes.
Exactly. I mean, we very much treat it like a family business, and everyone
Yes.
that works with us is part of that family. So
Right.
that's the nice thing about it. And that's why I think I was so drawn to it in this industry, is because the cool thing about this is we're all from different walks of life, and to all come together over a cigar
Yeah.
is just, you know, that's what's bringing us together. Otherwise, we might just pass each other on the street and have
That's-
nothing to talk about.
That's right.
And that's what I really love about this industry and what really drew me into it.
My wife goes with me when I go to Nicaragua.
Yeah.
And the thing she appreciates about it, and she doesn't smoke cigars, though she does like to, she'll cut mine for me when we're traveling. She'll cut a cigar and she'll get the aromas of the unlit foot, and then she'll give her opinion and hand it over.
Hey, I love that. I love that.
But she appreciates the camaraderie, the socialization that goes along with the cigar.
So Bradley wasn't as close in the industry as I was while you know, growing up. He
Yeah.
kind of got into it in the last few years more. And he kind of, after his first or second week, we went to IPCPR, and when we got back, he turned to, you know, my father and myself, and he goes, I didn't realize how much of a family this actually was. I didn't realize how close everyone was, and why we're so committed to it. And he absolutely loves that. And that's his favorite thing about the industry.
Well, I think it's a really unique industry in the fact that even outside of the company, we're all competitors. And don't get me wrong, I mean, such is life. You're going to have people that disagree with each other, and you're probably going to have people that just downright hate
don't
each
like
other.
each other, right,
But for the
right.
most part, I mean, even, you know, being a sales rep, there's something about going on the road and knowing the accounts you're going to see. And then you see a guy that's trying to take your shelf space and you're trying to take his shelf space. And there's something about the fact that because you know you're in it together, in the sense that, you know, you commiserate, there's something about sitting down with that person and smoking a cigar and just talking about what you do. And you know, it's really like that from the top down. You see it with retailers, you see it with manufacturers, you know.
Yes,
So
you do.
it's really interesting to see that aspect. And I mean, people fight just like families do, you know, but for the most part, it actually is a very close industry in that sense, that everybody sort of, for the most part, sort of respects each other.
And here in the
has a certain-
Pittsburgh area, we have the unique situation where, though we're fierce competitors,
Yeah.
we enjoy getting together with one another for the most part.
Last time I was here, when I left, that's exactly what I told Ryan, was I could not believe how close everyone was,
Yeah.
and how willing they were to help each other out.
Yeah,
I could not believe it.
we had a political
Right.
fundraiser here last week to support a man who'd like to challenge for the U.S. Senate. And he's part of, in Harrisburg, we have a cigar caucus.
Yeah.
And he had some Democrats here. He's a Republican.
Yeah.
We had two other shop owners
Right.
here. They were here because of cigars.
Yeah.
All that stuff stays out the door. That's what's great about it.
Yeah. Mhm.
All
Yeah.
that doesn't matter if you're a Democrat, Republican.
Well,
Yeah.
Once you walk
It
into the
doesn't.
door and you have a cigar in your hand,
That's
that's
right.
all that
And
matters.
not only that, you know, one of the funny thing is I actually shared that story with Alec earlier, and I told him, I said, one of the most interesting things about that is one of those shop owners, before they left, actually snapped a picture of the sign for this shop and actually posted on Instagram, hey, if you're ever out in Moon, you know, great shop, go check these guys out. Tuesday, Alec is going to be in town for an event. You know, go out there. And it's like, I travel to a lot of great regions and a lot of cool cigar cultures, but Pittsburgh is extremely unique, almost on its own, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you
I
just
agree
don't
with
see
that.
that happen.
So,
Eric Espinoza says the same thing.
Yeah.
He says, I go into other areas And he says, and you have to be careful who you mention
Yeah.
about another
Yeah.
shot. Whereas here, he says everyone jokes about everyone and gets along with everyone. And
Hopefully, we see that start to fade in the near future, because I do
I agree.
like because on the manufacturer side, like you were saying, when you go, if you're lucky enough, if you're a retailer, you end up at the trade show, or you go to one of the big multi-vendor events like
Right.
Cigar Fest or Big Smoke or something. It always feels like a family reunion, and you even
It
see
is.
like you'll
Yeah,
see the
yeah.
Texas rep for this company and the New York rep for this company walk past each other and give each other a big hug like they were old cousins or something like
and
that.
guys from other companies. And,
Yeah.
and you get a chance to meet people you never would have maybe met before.
Right.
I was impressed. One of the older men in the industry that impressed me was Manuel Casada. He just something about him. He's no different than many of the other guys in the industry. Come up warm. Thank you for buying my cigar, supporting my
absolutely.
cigar.
Yeah.
He knows there's probably over 5,000 different Vitolas out there that you could put on a shelf for a retailer, and
Yeah.
he appreciates that in a way that the guy that's the head of GM wouldn't.
Yeah, wouldn't appreciate that. Yeah, I agree.
Thanks for
And
driving
I
my-
always say that there's no perfect cigar. If there was, there'd only be one on the shelf, and that'd
Right.
be,
It'd be
that'd
way
be the end of
easier
it.
for the purchasers here, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. But there's so many great cigars out there, and I smoke everything just because it's my hobby and I enjoy cigars. So, I mean, to be able to really build my palate and try everything out there is such a great experience because there are so many great cigars out there.
There are, yeah. I think we're in I've said this, people probably go, oh no, he's going to say this. He's probably going to say this again, but I'm going to say it again.
Say it again.
I think we're in a golden age of cigar making.
Yeah.
I really,
There was a huge
with-
cigar boom.
yeah.
And
and there
in
was
the
a lot of
90s,
junk put out.
And I think now there's a little bit of a boom coming again,
Yeah,
but it seems like a lot of good stuff is coming out.
I
A
agree.
lot.
I agree.
So we're in our closing minutes here. Two things for you. One's an obligatory question. I don't know if you have any new information or not, but about the FDA and everything. I'm probably tired of getting asked. Any new developments or any inside track info you can
they
share
pushed
with
everything.
the viewers?
Yeah, they pushed everything back 3 years. Everything's on a hold for 3 years right now, and other than that, that's really the only new information that is out there. Things are going to be happening over the next 3 years, and we'll see where that kind of leads. But at least now we can not take a breath.
You guys
but,
are viewing that as a good news kind of?
not necessarily.
Okay.
Hope for the best, prepare for the worst. We're still preparing and working hard to make sure that we have everything in line, of which we do, and we'll still be here.
Cool. And then kind of in closing, if there's anyone out there that hasn't tried an Alec Bradley cigar, what would you recommend they try, and what would you kind of tell them to convince them to give your cigars a shot?
To be honest, there's not necessarily one cigar I would recommend to try from our line. It's all based on your palate and what you like to smoke. I would ask your local retailer, based on what you've smoked in the past and what flavors you enjoy, which Alec Bradley cigar would be for you, and start there. Because I'm not going to point you on something that I enjoy, and that might be too strong for you, or too peppery, or not strong enough. I'd rather you ask your local retailer, because they will know, based on our profiles, what you should be smoking.
It's a good point. You guys do have a pretty good breadth in the portfolio there.
And we
From
try
the
to.
Nica Puro to the Prensado to the Coyol to, the Filthy Hula. You guys really cover a lot of ground there. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, hey, thank you
appreciate the
guys for
question.
having us here too.
Yeah, thanks
yeah,
for coming
you're
on.
welcome.
Thanks for
You're
coming
welcome.
on.
Absolutely.
For
Always
all
a
of us
pleasure.
here at Inside the Humidor, thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time. Get out there and burn one. Thanks for tuning in to another exciting episode of Inside the Humidor. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, leave us a comment down below, or feel free to shoot me an email, thesmokemastergeneral@gmail.com. All of our phone number for the shop and everything down in the description there. So yeah, we'd love to field your guys' questions and stuff. If you have any questions about Alec Bradley specifically, or which one you should try, or where our shop is at, or any of that kind of fun stuff, let us know. So thanks for tuning in. Get out there and burn one, guys.